writing is kind of a process, isn't it? It takes us different steps to be able to get to the point where we can bring our writing under the document camera. So I found some posters that kind of reminded me of some of the things that we were doing. And I was just looking for you guys to let me know what you guys think of those. Or if you think we should arrange them anyway. So I'm gonna put them down here. There's some words on the top of them. Looking for your help to try to make sense of this.
I'm not sure what these all mean.
So I'm hoping we can work together and do some thinking together. Ready, Grayson? And then whoever would like to take the lead and start our conversation, that would be
It
awesome.
looks like how it's gonna work.
It looks like how, but you tell us.
How people work.
Okay. We talked the other day, we're gonna try to see when we're having a conversation, if some friends can start to know just when to jump in without always having to just raise our hands.
Maybe if, like, maybe if, it, like, means something, it means, like, what they're doing or, like, how they're doing it and stuff.
Okay, so it's definitely related to what you guys are doing as writers. Do you think it would be helpful if someone goes ahead and reads the words on the posters, if they think they can take on that challenge? Liam, you're volunteering, go ahead, bud. Let's listen to see what he tells us. I don't know if they're in order, Liam.
I know how to do in order. I know how it should go in order.
Ooh, so you think we could put them in some sort of order. How about you go ahead and read them for us, buddy, and then maybe that's our next step.
All of them?
Sure, read what they say, just so all of our friends are on the same page.
Draft,
Okay.
share, edit. I don't quite know what these are. Conference. Brainstorm. Revise. And publish.
Okay, what do you guys think?
I think he could choose that one and that one.
So are you guys, I
don't
feel like
think
you're
those
hinting to
sound
me
so right.
that there should be we should move them around.
I think sure should get that.
Go ahead, Kylie.
So, brainstorm.
I think Josh should be aware of that brainstorm.
Why do you think that, sweetie?
Because
You should brainstorm first.
yeah, but brainstorm before you draft.
Yeah, because draft is right.
Okay, and then let's hear what Gwen thought. She had a comment to make too, boys and girls. Do you think they're ready to listen to you? You thought the same?
How many of you brainstorm as you're writing?
I do. Maybe that should be next to edit.
Okay.
Edit?
Oh,
Wait.
who just asked a question?
I used to.
Someone asked a question like, "What does brainstorm mean?" I thought I heard. Did you say more about that? What are you thinking there? You're not sure what it means?
Yeah.
Okay.
Brainstorm means like brainstorm means like you should think about what you should be writing first, and instead of just taking computer, like scrolling down, press anything, and then like see.
Okay. Who can share what she just said, but in a different way? Go ahead.
Don't just do stuff you want to do. Try to do the stuff you have to do,
Okay.
like in your story or in your reading.
So that's what you think brainstorming is? I think you were explaining brainstorming, weren't you? So how can you explain brainstorming in a different way? Go ahead.
So thinking about what you're doing before you do it.
Okay, so you think it's before you're doing it, right?
Mhm.
How many of you think you can brainstorm while you're doing it? Someone mentioned that before. So that's interesting to me. Something to think about as you're putting these in a particular way of thinking. Okay? So,
I think
Can we do more than one thing as we're writing at a time? Can we multitask?
I think that
So- Some writers,
Publish is when you celebrate your writing. Maybe one of them.
Say that again? We had a friend here explaining something. Go ahead.
Share is like when you celebrate.
So, say more about that.
Publish is when we put it in the library.
Here, wait.
Like,
And then edit.
let's listen to what Nora has to say,
I
friends,
think
first.
edit means
Norris, share your thoughts on publishing.
Kylie, take a step back. We're gonna take a step back,
This one's
and we're gonna listen to what Nora said, and then we'll continue to problem solve.
Publish is kind of like share because it's like kind of like not really like putting it on the publishing wall. It's like share is like when you like share.
Nora, do you need help right now? You need help. So one of the things you can do as a community is when you're stuck and sharing, you'd say, I kind of need someone else to help me here. So go ahead and say that.
How do you do it?
Who can help her? Go ahead. Go ahead.
So share and publish aren't the same thing because share is like sharing. So say that I was sharing with Glenn and I had already finished my book and I wanted to publish it. I can like I can put it over there and like that's not what you would do for share. You would just share it in something. It kind of shows
This
in
isn't-
the picture.
This isn't, this,
sharing with
the
class.
this one's sharing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
This
that's
one's
sharing.
This one's edit. That's edit.
This one's, is your
Because
edit,
edit-
write it,
edit
you
means
write it.
But
But
this
this
should
should
be
probably
down
here is
after
celebrate.
this one.
This one should be back here.
Well,
Cause you gotta publish it at the
So
end.
then, no, the end's down there, cause like, if we brainstorm first and think about what we want, and then
No, we gotta do it well, we do it.
Wait,
Brainstorm
like,
well,
I
we're
kinda
doing
got
it. So kinda
different
like an
ideas.
So stop right there for a second. Some of you have different ways of doing this, don't you? Some of you brainstorm all the time as you're writing. Some do it just before, right?
So we have to do
I'm wondering if we can help show that by putting them next to each other.
And you know what I'm thinking, Mrs. Patterman? Is that sometimes we think that there's a certain way we go about writing, that you do this, and then you do this, and then you do this, and then you do this. But it can get fuzzy, and it can get a little messy, and you can conference during, you can conference before, you can conference after. Some of you, I edit as I'm going, so that it's not so much work at the end. So that's my process in writing. And I revise as I'm going so I don't have to go back and revise as I'm doing it.
Well, you could.
So there's some things that people do, and there's not necessarily an order, but there's some things that are necessary to come. And I'm wondering if that publishing is something that always comes when you're finished, right?
Because like you're trying to publish it.
Yeah, you're putting it on a
You
wall.
can give it to a wall. You can put it on a wall. You can give it to your parents.
Right.
And and then share is like when you like say like it's sort of like I want to share. Can you guys help?
Yeah, so there's different processes that people go through. How many of you like to share your piece as you're going along? So that people are getting a feel for your piece and you can kind of share it, go back and write and revise and edit, share it, go back. So
I think it doesn't matter what order you do it in because it like you can do it your own way because it doesn't really matter the order.
I think
You
we
can do it
came to
your
that
own way.
conclusion today, didn't we? That everybody has a different process and a way of going about their writing, right? And that's critical, that there's not just a lockstep way in the way we write.